So we're heading to North Bend Park, which is in Boynton, Virginia.
Correct.
And it's close to Clarksville. And we're actually going to stop in a town called Ure, North Carolina, which is where we're going to try to have dinner at
the Salty Hippie.
A Salty Hippie, yeah.
My dogs and my bride, we're living wild and free. On the road for a wild ride, just my love and me. Moving slow from the hills to the sea. Every mile is a memory, exploring in our travel RV.
We are on our way to the North Bend Park Campground, which is part of the John Kerr Dam and Reservoir. After we leave our hometown of Hertford, North Carolina, the first town we reach is in Gates County. Gates County was founded in 1779. While it has a small town feel here, it's an area rich in history. I'm told they often find arrowheads and pottery shards in many of the fields here. Our next stop will be Ure, North Carolina at the Salty Hippie. In about 20 minutes, we made it to Ure. That blue-gray building on the right is the Salty Hippie, and the parking lot is large enough for us to pull our rig into, but we have a toad on the back, and the Salty Hippie does not have enough space to do a turnaround. The restaurant owner said for us to drive in the grass and do a loop, but I was not comfortable with the weight and the condition of the soil, so we're going to have to catch the Salty Hippie some other time. With the motorhome and a car in tow, there was just no way to get parked and back out without having to disconnect the car, which is an hour of my time. Plus I have a pulled muscle up here, so I don't have any strength right now either. Anyhow, we're bypassing lunch for now. We'll probably pull over and make a sandwich, and we're heading to North Bend Park in Boynton, Virginia for our campground site. We'll check back when we find something interesting. We had a strap break loose. It's almost rags now. I fixed it on an emergency stop. I don't know why it broke loose. So we're at our first break, and I'm going to see if I have a spare. These straps have to be checked on these dollies. You can't just tighten them once and forget it. As the car moves and repositions itself, the straps can get loose. Well, I always check twice, but this time twice wasn't enough. When I got the dolly, I got a new set, so I should still have the old set somewhere. And there they are. Thank God. This was a new strap. Okay, we're back on the road again. We're in Conway, North Carolina. We thoroughly enjoyed our trip through parts of North Carolina and Virginia using the secondary back roads that we had to use to get to this park. Such beauty and peace. It was just an enjoyable ride, and I am sure you will enjoy the same scenery if you take a trip out this way. As you approach the facility coming from the east on this 55-mile-per-hour highway, you'll come upon this sign which marks the border of the North Bend Park area. There are still a few miles of driving before you reach the dam bridge and then eventually the campground itself. Once you arrive at North Bend Park, Kerr Dam area, don't be alarmed that it still takes a few minutes to get to the actual park entry. Kerr Dam was completed in 1952, creating Kerr Lake, which is a 55,000-acre reservoir. The dam's 7 main generators produce an average of 425,000 megawatt hours of electricity annually. Before we actually get over the Kerr Dam, you can stop at a small park that is at the entryway to the dam. Here we have a good view of what the dam looks like on the high water side. From the east direction, there are 2 approaches to the campground. One takes you across the Kerr Dam, and the other one bypasses it. As we leave the park area, you'll make a left-hand turn to start your trip across the Kerr Dam. Kerr Dam contains 624,000 cubic yards of concrete, 578,000 barrels of cement, and 1,200,000 tons of crushed stone and sand for concrete aggregate. What I found remarkable was the difference on the 2 different sides of the dam. The high water side appears to be about 40 to maybe 60 feet higher than the low water side. Coming up on the right is Tugboat Dam, and we will cover its history on part 2. Please be sure to subscribe. Please be sure to give us a thumbs up, and we welcome your comment. It all helps me get this channel started. As I said earlier, it's a fairly long ride getting to the campground, so don't be weary of these long roads. Finally, we arrive at the beginning of the compound, and here you'll make a sharp left turn if you're coming from the east into the campground. Do not be alarmed at the number of miles you still have to go before getting into the campground. Up ahead, we have 2 buildings. One is the security gate, and the other is where you do your registration. So just pull on over to the parking they have on the right side, get your registration done, and then you can go through the gate. They'll give you a parking pass for your vehicles, and this may not be manned at times because there is a toll collector automation machine behind the guardhouse, I guess for those times where they don't have any staff. Beyond this point, no matter what size your rig is, everything is going to end in a loop. So you can get turned around without having to disconnect anything. I, however, disconnected before I went in because that's what the staff recommended. And it might be a good idea if you've got a large vehicle in tow. About 300 feet before you reach the point of having to make a left or right turn, depending on your campsite, you'll come across the sanitation area. That is the only sanitation area that I am aware of. On the left is sites 51 through 139. To the right is where most of the larger campers go. But we're going to go left and take a quick look at some of these sites. I originally planned to show you every site, but I quickly realized this would be an hour-long video if I did that. So I concentrated on the very best sites, whether they had electricity or not, and I concentrated on all of the great electrical sites that can handle a 30-foot or longer camper. We're going to start with sites 51 through 77. We're pulling up here on site number 51. It's a nice site. However, I'm only going to cover the more elaborate, larger sites on the water. This is 52. This is 77. I must have missed the tag on that. And I don't see a tag on this one either. But you can see some of these are a little bit unlevel. And here is site 75. It's a large site. And right nestled up against it is site number 74. Kind of close for a national park, but I've seen worse. When you book your site at recreation.gov, you'll be able to determine which sites have electricity and which do not. There are a lot of highly desirable sites that don't have electricity, so you might want to consider going that path at certain times of the year to get the very best site and probably the most availability. That is a walkway probably to a restroom. That's what I imagine that is up there. And this is 71. This is tent camping because you're not going to get a level rig in here. 70. This is 69. Quite picturesque of a campground. This is 53. This is 54. And now we're heading sites 55 through 68. And this is also the exit, I think. That is site 55. And there's a small camper here. Small Class A. This is probably 54, but I don't see the ped. Oh, 56. This is 56. And this one here is 57. This one here is 58. Here's 59. 59, and then there's 60 on the other side. Okay, so this is 62 through 68 down in here. This is 62 and 53. Here is 64. And this is 56. 68. Camping area D. (201) through 236 this way. Much of this area is no electricity, and much of it is inland. They're all still good sites.
Some of us got electric.
So I'm not going to narrate this whole thing, just give you a quick peek. these are all waterfront sites, but there's a lot of overgrowth, so they're obstructed waterfront sites. And this is the bathhouse over there. And we're now going to go from 237 through 249. I didn't cover the inland sites. Channel is travel RV, so I'm figuring tent people may or may not watch my channel. 238, no electricity that I can see. 239, no electricity. None of these apparently have electricity. This is a great spot. 240, if you're a tent camper, you'll love this. Right by the beach. In fact, let's take a quick look at the beach. Okay, it's a right nice area. As with all of these campgrounds, you've got a safety center with life preservers and warnings to be careful. No fires, no pets, no glass containers, no alcoholic beverages, and really no litter. You shouldn't litter, and if you find litter, you should pick it up. That's what I do. So it's a sandcastle city here somebody made. It's a beautiful beach area. How you doing?
How are you?
I'm doing pretty good.
Getting some good ones, huh?
Huh?
You getting some good pictures?
Well, I've got a channel I'm building on YouTube for campers, so
Nice.
try to show everybody what they're getting ready to drive into.
Okay.
So
This is a great park.
yeah, it is. It's probably one of the best.
Yeah, I think so too with the freshwater.
You care if you're on a camera? Does that matter?
No, not at all.
Okay, cool. Yeah, this is my first time here, and I think I like this. I'm concentrating on state and federal parks
Okay.
because who can afford a $90 park somewhere else? Which
Well,
is what
I like the state and federal parks better anyway.
Yeah.
The Chip Oaks is another good one.
I'm sorry.
Chip Oaks in Surrey
Yeah.
State Park.
Yeah.
That's a good one. It's not freshwater though. It's James.
So, have you been to Goose Creek in North Carolina?
No.
It's a wonderful park too.
Okay.
It's got great trails. It's got a beach. It's different. It's one of a kind.
Okay. I'll
So,
have to keep that one in mind.
are you a member of America's Beautiful?
No, we are. It's the federal. Okay.
So you're staying here for $18.
Yeah.
That's amazing, isn't it? Nice talking with
Nice
you.
talking with you.
Enjoy your trip out there.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, this is what it looks like, and it's gorgeous. I highly recommend you come to this park. Really, really, really nice facility. Army Corps of Engineers, maybe one of their best facilities that I've been to. So I have a hearing impairment. Undoubtedly it's going to show one day when I'm doing a video and I answer somebody wrong or don't acknowledge what they said. But it's the way it is when you get older. Work with what you got. Okay, we're now heading to Section C and 140 through 200. The inland ones I'm just going to drive by, let you see them. Tiny electric site. .145 is a tiny electric site. You could fit a small motorhome. Or 148 is a tiny electric site as well. I believe all of these sites here are going to be electric. Over here is the inland side. A lot less interesting. And right here is my site. And in the picture, the reason I picked this site was I had a really solid view of the water. It's still a decent view of the water, but I wouldn't have picked this site twice because of these trees and the blockage. But back where the living room window is, you had a clear shot of the water. This is campsite 149. And I don't know if you can see my doggies there, but they're right there in the window. .152 is a good site. It would be a little bit hard, in my opinion, getting a trailer in there. It would take a challenging turn to get that thing parked. And starting here, the sites stop with the electricity. These are some of the best sites in the whole park, and they are dry camping sites. But if you're coming at the time of the year when you don't have to have electricity, I would actually consider getting one of these sites here. This section has probably the best sites in the whole park, but they are mostly non-electric sites, if not, in fact, all non-electric sites. If you are coming at a time of the year where you don't absolutely need electricity, some of the best sites in the park are right here, especially these peninsula sites you're seeing right here. They've got water around all sides. We're just chilling now after our tour today. This is our site.
Beautiful site. Mm-hmm.
Take two.
All right. It's supposed to be fun, you know?
All joking aside, this really is a beautiful park, and you'll enjoy your time here if you spend even the majority of your time right at your campsite. As I walked around my site, I did spot some trash, so I picked it up and put it in a proper container. There's no reason for people to throw their wrappers and their bottle caps and any other junk on the ground. These parks are meant to be enjoyed for a lifetime. It takes such very little of my time to bend over and pick up something that someone else left behind. I hope you will do the same. This is one of those parks where you hate to leave, so we're going to make up for that by coming back at the end of the summer. After a long day and a lot of sun, it's time to get a shower. The building is equipped with 2 bathrooms at the front. Then on the left and right side, there are 3 private showers each, all large enough for handicapped. I used these showers several times. The water was warm, the showers were clean, and they were not busy. All of them could be used for a handicapped person, although only one shower stall had a hose-handled shower head that you could use to move around your body. The other showers, the head was fixed. But before I go, I want to show you a few clips from part 2. We had a lot of fun in this area, and part 2 will cover all of the fun places that we visited while at this campground. We'll visit the haunted town of Bracy, North Carolina, where we actually got possibly a ghost on tape. That ought to be a lot of fun. We'll be visiting Warrenton, North Carolina, where we'll have lunch in an old hardware store that was converted over. We'll be visiting Tugboat Dan, which is a feature at the campground. Tugboat Dan has been in service since 1948. When they retired Tugboat Dan, they replaced him with Dan 2. We'll take a closer look at the dam. Here we are at the low water side, and we'll explore the park that is located in this area. The great thing about this area is there are a lot of small town attractions to visit, and I'll show you more about that. We visited the little town of Boykins, Virginia, and had lunch at Rosie's. We'll be sure to give you a review on Rosie's. And one of the most charming towns in the area is Clarksville, Virginia. And there are 4 decent restaurants in Clarksville. Be sure to watch for the Clarksville video. That'll be released in about a month. We're going to get a look at the original water wheel that was used in this dam back in 1952. And of course, we can't leave without showing you the most mundane Mexican dinner you can find. The dip was quite good, but that was the highlight of the whole meal. We'll take you back to Warrenton, North Carolina, where we did a little exploration of the town. Warrenton, North Carolina is a charming town, and you should put it on your list of places to visit. I'm just going to sit here and wait for Forrest Gump. And when we have lunch at the Hardware Cafe in Warrenton, North Carolina, I think you'll be pleased to see they kept everything that the hardware store had. I have to say the sandwiches were actually quite good. It's worth going back for. Please subscribe and please leave us a comment telling us what you would like to see. You'll help the channel out greatly if you would also give us a thumbs up. Thank you, and see you next week.